Okay, you're right. Welcome to your video tutorial on two-step equations. Okay, now, what are two-step equations? Well, last lesson you learnt about one-step equations. They only involved one step in order to find the pronumeral. Today we're going to look at two-step equations. So equations involve more than one step. Now, because I'm away today, if you get super confused as to what we're doing, okay, I'm happy for you to go back and look over the one-step equation stuff. That's totally fine. As for this picture, it's a French bulldog. Oh no, sorry, an English bulldog. Look how cute it is. It's wearing a hat. Okay. So, sometimes we have equations that require us to complete more than one step to find the pronumeral. So last lesson we were looking at things like this. X plus 2 equals 9. Okay? All it required was one step. So we learnt that we take 2 away from this side and 2 away from this side, and then we get x by itself equaling 7. Today what we're going to have a look at is we're going to have a look at a step that require equations, that require more than one of those steps, okay? More than one operation to perform in order to get everything away from the pronumeral. I said this last lesson, but I'm going to say it again. We solve equations by moving things away from the pronumeral. We start with the things furthest away and then we work our way in. Okay, so it kind of goes with our dirt metaphor. I'll just make these scales larger. Remember last lesson, I hid a coin at the bottom of our scales, okay? You didn't know what that was. That was the unknown thing. In order to discover what the coin was, you had to take the dirt away from the top, okay? If you took away some dirt from this side, you had to take away the same amount of dirt from that side. And it was the dirt furthest away from the coin, okay? It was the dirt furthest away from the coin. This metaphor is going to be really, really important today when we have a look at two-step equations. Because what we do first with the equation, or what we take away from either side, is the thing that is furthest away. So, here's our first example. You're going to notice something about this example. You'll notice that this time we have a multiplication going on here and addition going on here. Now, what we have to understand is, this is saying, if I multiply what I don't know by 2, so I have 2 of something I don't know, and then after that I add 2, it gives me 10. What this means is the thing that is closest to my pronumeral is the multiplication. That's the thing that's closest. The thing that's furthest away on this side is my plus 2. So remember, my unknown, or my coin on my scales, was only on one side, okay? My P is only on one side at the moment, okay? And the thing that's furthest away from it, or the dirt that's furthest away from it, is this plus 2, because I have 2 of something I don't know, and then after I have that 2 of something I don't know, I add 2. So the first thing I have to do with this equation is I have to take away the 2 from each side. Remember, I do my working underneath. So it's going to be 2p plus 2. I'm going to minus 2 from this side because remember I've got a plus 2 here. So to get rid of it, I need to minus it. Cool. What I do to one side, I do the same to the other. So if I've minus 2 from this side, I've got a minus 2 from that side. And that'll leave me with 2p equaling 10 minus 2 is 8. 2p equals 8. Oh, I might write this 2p over, closer to my equals sign. Okay, 2p equals 8. Now, 2p equals 8 looks like those equations I was doing the other day. So if 2p equals 8, what does 1p equal? Well, if I need to find out what 1p equals, again, I do the opposite operation. So if 2 of them equals 8, I'll divide and do the opposite operation and divide this side by 2 to find p by itself. Now if I divide this side by 2, I've got to divide the other side by 2. Okay, so 2p divided by 2, and then this side divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So P equals 4. Things to remember there, guys. Start with the things furthest away and then work your way in. Okay, start from the things furthest away and then work your way in. Show you're working line by line. Make sure your equal signs are in line with each other and your working out goes down the page. Let's look at this example. 4b minus 2 equals 14. Again, the thing that's closest to the pronumeral, or the thing I don't know, is the 4, is the multiplied by 4. So 4 of something I don't know, if I then subtract 2 from that, I get 14. So the thing furthest away from my pronumeral is the minus 2. That's the first thing I need to work with. Okay, so I'll go rewrite my equation. 4b subtract 2. Okay, equals 14. Now, I want to get rid of the 2 from this side. So if it's a negative 2 and I want to get rid of it, I have to add 2 to this side. What I do to one side, I do the same thing to the other. So if I've added 2 to the left-hand side of my equation, I add 2 to the right-hand side of my equation. And that leaves me with 4b equaling 14 plus 2 is 16. Okay, 4b equals 16. In order to find out what 1b equals, okay, if 4 of them equal 16, I need to find out what one of them equals. So again, I do the opposite operation. If 4b equals 16, I divide this side by 4 and divide that side by 4. That will tell me what 1b equals. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. So b is equal to 4. It's taken me 2 steps to find it, but I found it. Ooh, this question here, okay, this is a bit of a tricky one. Because it's actually taken up too much of my page, I'm going to do it over this side, okay? It says x divided by 5. If I add 7 to it, I'll get 11. Now, what's the thing furthest away from the x at the moment? Well, what this is saying is something I don't know. When I divide it by 5, if I then add 7 to that answer, it'll give me 11. So the thing that is furthest away from my pronumeral, or my unknown at the moment, is the plus 7. This is the thing that's furthest away from my pronumeral on the left-hand side. Okay, because x divided by 5, that happens first, and then I add 7. So this divided by 5 is the thing that's closest, so I must save that for the very end. So the first thing I'm going to do is deal with the 7. Now I'm just going to rewrite it here, guys. X divided by 5 plus 7 equals 11. Okay, now if I'm adding 7 on this side, in order to get rid of that in my equation, what I must do, if it's plus 7, I must subtract 7 from this side. And if I do something to one side, I must do the same to the other. So I must subtract 7 from that side. So x divided by 5 then becomes what 11 subtract 7. 11 subtract 7 is 4. Okay. This is now saying something I don't know. When I divide it by 5, it gets me 4. Something I don't know. When I divide it by 5, it gets me 4. I want to know what that something is by itself. So I'll perform the opposite operation. Okay, I'm going to multiply. Ooh, I'm just going to move this working out over just a touch. Okay, I am going to multiply. Oh, and I might move it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that. Okay, x divided by 5. I'm going to multiply that side by 5 to get rid of that division. And if I do something to one side, I must do the same to the other side. Okay, so that gets rid of that guy there. And my x is equaling to 4 times 5, which is 20. That sounds right, because I know when I divided it by 5, it got me 4. So I must multiply it by 5 to find out what it was originally. So my answer is 20 for this one, guys. And as you can see, it involved more than one step. It was actually 2 steps. I had to get rid of the 7 and then get rid of the 5. This is the very last one I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this one because it involves a negative. So 3r, oh, whoops, I was writing in the wrong colour. 3r plus 7 equals negative 5. So 3r plus 7, if I want to get rid of the 7, because it's the thing furthest away from the x, okay, if it's plussing, I'll need to minus it. So I'll need to minus 7 from this side, because it's an adding 7. Okay, what I do to one side, I do the same thing to the other. Okay, so 3r would then be equal to negative 5 minus 7. Remember, it gets colder. So I'm on negative 5 degrees and I get 7 degrees cooler. So my answer becomes negative 12. If 3r equals negative 12, I need to find out what 1r equals, okay? So I divide, So I need to divide this side by 3 and divide this side by 3. Because 3 of something I don't know equals negative 12, I need to find out what one of them equals, okay? So if 3 of them equals negative 12, what does one of them equal? So r, I should do this down the page, but I've run out of room. Negative 12 divided by 3. I've got a negative and I've got a positive, so I know my answer is going to be a negative. 12 divided by 3 is 4, okay? So my thing I don't know, the r, my pronumeral that I don't know, is negative 4. Okay, guys, if this is getting too confusing for you, at least have written the theory down for me, please. At least have the theory written down and the worked examples, okay? And I would like you to, if it is getting too difficult, go back to one step. If you are confident at trying some, I've put up some 2-step work. Okay, I'll see you next week, guys.